Hi, this is Kim from Dorothy's Daughter. We're talking ways to enhance your sewing time today. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Kim from Dorothy's Daughter. Welcome to my channel. If you're looking to take your sewing to the next level, this is the place to be. I'm going to talk about a subject today that we don't really talk a lot about, and maybe not enough. And that is, how do you enhance your sewing time to make it the most enjoyable thing that it can be for you? You know, I think everybody has to have that one thing that is completely theirs, just feeds your soul. I think sewing feeds my soul in a lot of ways. And so because of that, I protect that time and I make sure that it stays enjoyable. One of the things that when I started this channel, I promised myself that this would not become a job because this is my happy place. And I think right now we need the happy place more than ever. One thing that, things that we can do to protect this time, to enhance this time so that it stays enjoyable, so it doesn't become, just, oh, I got to get this done. Especially this time of year, we've got this list of things to sew for people, and it can just get real, can get to be a drag if you don't protect the time. And one quick way that's not on my list but just occurred to me is to know when to say no. When someone asks you to do something, if you don't have the time, don't tell them yes. Just be kind. Maybe say you can do it after you get such and such and such and such done. Or this time of year you can say after Christmas, I'd love to help you do that. Because you don't want it to be like, oh, I got to do that. I've got to do that now. So you want to just know when to say no. So I didn't have that in this originally, but I just want to point that out to you guys. Protect your time. And not that you don't want to do things for people, because certainly we are all bent that way, I think. We want to do things for people. So not that you don't want to do that when you do have the time to help people, yes, but you do need to just be realistic, I think, and know when to say no. So I have a couple things I wrote down just that I like to do from time to time. And I switch it up. I don't do one thing all the time. But first thing that I like to do, and this one is sort of a guilty pleasure of mine, that I love books. I love to read. And so sometimes it comes down when I have free time. Am I going to sew or am I going to read? So I love Audible. You can get Audible books from the library if you can't afford to purchase the Audible books. Lots of the libraries, you can download them and they download right to your Kindle and they go away. You don't have to remember to return them. It's fantastic. Overdrive is what you need to get, the app, and they'll go right to your phone, and it's wonderful. Just wonderful. I've read so many books. Usually I'll follow along with the printed version, so I'll listen to a couple chapters while I'm sewing, and then when I go to bed, I'll pick up from there and just read the book. So it's really nice, and Kindles sync that way too, so it's super nice. Well, they sync that way if you use their Audible app. Audible is a great company too to download. It's part of Amazon, and if you'd like to, I have a special offer for you if you just want to check down below if you'd like to use my affiliate link for that. There are 3 books I've read recently. Just enjoyed them so much, and they all had sort of an overarching theme of sewing. And the first one was called The Pink Suit, and it's all about Jacqueline Kennedy's suit that she wore the day that JFK died. But it's not about her or even what happened. It's about the girl who designed the pink suit, and it's super good. It's a really good book. So check that one out. Another one is called The Gown, and it's all about the girl who helped create Queen Elizabeth's gown when she got married. So it takes place in, just a little bit post-war, I think. Really, really, really good book. And the other one that I just finished is called Mrs. Lincoln's Dressmaker. And it's a freed slave who is dressmaker to Mary Lincoln, and it's just a really good book. It's all about the Civil War, the aftermath, Lincoln's assassination. It's a really good book. If you like historical fiction, and I think you can kind of see a theme that I do, because historical fiction's fantastic. So those are three, if you want something sort of sewing related, that really, really spoke to me. Second thing I like to do is watch other YouTubers. I love to watch a lot of the ones I like to watch. I, of course, watch my dear friend Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles. I like to watch Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery, who's another good friend of mine. There are just a ton of channels out there that are so good. Some of them are, just enjoyable too. Love some of the crafting ones. I love Mr. Crafty Pants. If you haven't seen him, he's really good with the Cricut. I love Maker's Gonna Learn. That's a good one for crafting, and just super good stuff out there. So I definitely would put the YouTube into what I like to do. Part of it is, though, that you can't really watch it. So if it's something that's intricate, you can kind of listen along and then maybe go back and watch it again and catch the parts that you missed. So now the next thing that I like to do when I'm sewing, and this one is probably my favorite, I think, and that is just to listen to music. I have a Amazon Echo up here, and she'll play anything I want her to play. And so 9 times out of 10, there'll be one of two kinds of music piping in this room. It will either be the Beatles or worship music. So that's me in a nutshell right there. But whatever it is you like to listen to. And I find that sort of the peppy, happy, feel-good music is really good background for working on a project. It just kind of makes you zip along, and it's happy and fun. Another thing is I have a television in here, and I love this time of year, the Hallmark movies. If I'm sewing for Christmas, I watch the Christmas movies, and you can kind of follow them along by just listening. Once in a while you might want to stop and look, but pretty much you can get the storyline just from listening. So those are fantastic movies. I love them. My guilty pleasure. I just hide up here and sew and watch Hallmark movies at Christmas time. And another thing now I'm going to get a little more serious about protecting your time, but another thing you can do is have a clean and organized room. One of the best things ever done for me is this pegboard behind me. My husband built this for me. It's not hard at all, and we're going to be doing a video to show that because he's going to build me a smaller one for over here. It's just fantastic, and one of the things that I love about it is that I know where everything is, and I no longer buy something I already have. Who's guilty of that? I used to do that all the time. I think, oh, I don't have that kind of zipper, or I don't have any jeans buttons, and then I wouldn't go through my stuff, and I'd go buy it, and then I'd realize I had 10 of them already. So that's a good way to sort of keep your room organized. And if your room is somewhat clean, it is not clean in here right now, but it's organized. It's not clean. But anyway, if you have, your space organized and it's pleasant to be in, it'll go a long way toward making your space a lot happier. But anything that you can do to organize. Now, I have videos on how to keep track of your patterns and how to categorize your fabric stash and keep that in your phone, and also how to keep a record and a database of all the projects you've done. It's fun to look back and see how much you've done. Usually, I think it's more than you realize. I use Trello for that, and I use the Patterns app for patterns, and I've done videos on both. So go and check those videos out. I will link them. I try and link them here to one of them anyway, up here. But anyway, doing those things, keeping track of your things and having things at your reach, that sort of can tame your spirit so that you can be creative. You know, that just feeds your creativity, because if you don't have to take your mind into your left brain because you can't remember where you put something, or you don't know where, if you have it, and you're looking and looking and looking and looking to find it, you're in your left brain and you're just task oriented and you're not having fun and it's not creative. So anything you can do to keep things at your fingertips and not have to go crazy trying to find it is going to enhance your time for sure. I know this because this is what I have spent my whole life doing wrong and just got it right recently. So I can tell you it makes a huge difference if you just know what you have and know where it is. It's like simple thing, but you know, for me, I would just buy it again, and that's not really good. So I needed to do something. You know, this pegboard was like one big step, and then it's just gone from there. So if you can do that, it'd be wonderful. Now, another thing, this is tip number 5, another thing that really has helped me, not just in sewing, but in any task that you are like wanting to get done, but it's something that is like you've got a hurdle, okay? I used to use this when I was editing photos. I would edit photos like sometimes 12 hours a day, you know, so because, you know, I ran a photography business and I shot, you know, I've shot over 600 weddings in my career. And so I would have a lot of books to design and a lot of photographs to go through and cull and edit and color correct and all that fun stuff that I used to spend my whole day doing that I don't anymore. But anyway, I used to use this technique, and I've used it up here, like especially if I'm cramming to get something done by Christmas or by a birthday or something. It's called the Pomodoro technique, and basically you set a timer for 20 minutes and you work for 20 minutes and you go stop and rest for 5. And it's just unbelievable how much you can get done that way just by knowing you've got that 5-minute break coming up at the end of the 20 minutes. And before you know it, you've got it done. So, and if 20 minutes and 5 doesn't work, you can do 15 and 5, or you can do, you know, you can 20 and 10, whatever works for you. But for me, I think the 20 minutes working and then 5 minutes off. And then the reason it's called Pomodoro are because of those old kitchen timers that look like tomatoes, and Pomodoro is the Italian word for tomato. So that's how I figured that out. I didn't know how I got the name either. I had to look it up. But if you use that method, there are apps you can get on your phone that will do it for you, or you could just set the timer on your phone. You know, something that's going to yell at you. You could tell Alexa or whatever, you know, whatever you need to do, just to let yourself know when 20 minutes is up and then when 5 minutes is up. And it just really does work. So that is, that's tip number 5. So I hope that helps you guys stay organized, stay happy, and not get bogged down with have-tos, because there are obviously things we have to do, but especially if you like have a list of things you need to sew, or if you're sewing for your business, or if you're, you know, like me, I'm making everything for Christmas, so I'm like, I have a list this big. But it can be fun, and it can get draining if you don't do something to enhance it. So that's my advice to you in this busy Christmas season. And as you know, I am at this moment, I'm filming this at home before I leave, but when you're watching this, I am hopefully in San Antonio enjoying time with my family. So I want to wish you the happiest of Thanksgivings. Watch for my video coming up on probably either Thursday night or Friday on some gifts for the sewist. This is a wish list for you to send to your hubby or anyone else who buys things for you, or if you have a sewing sister that you like to get things for. So have a fantastic holiday. Happy Thanksgiving. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Happy sewing.